Alright then, next up will be the top 10 in the Constructors Championship. We did do the drivers the other day. Disclaimer again, these predictions will most definitely not age well. I have done these predictions after watching testing. I was going to do them before, but yeah. I will tell you the results of the ones before as well, but this is my top 10 after testing. 10. Williams. Now, I don't think there is going to be an outright back marker this year. In fact, I think every Formula 1 team will score at least 10 points this season. Williams, the only reason I put them in 10th is because I don't really see Latifi as a team leader, and I do think that Alex Albon will need a bit of time to adjust to the car. Again, Williams, the car does look very nice, but I do think it will early on probably be the back marker. But again, do not take this seriously. 9th, I do say Alfa Romeo, another team that I wasn't particularly impressed by in testing. They didn't really seem to do much. I think Valtteri Bottas is going to be on a bit of a carrying job this year. I do think he'll score most of their points. Guan Yu Zhou will need a little bit of time to get used to Formula 1, as he is a new driver. And again, I just see Alfa Romeo being towards the back. And this could go either way, because I do think this will be 3 groups, really. And 9th, Alfa Romeo. 8th for me will be Haas. Originally, I had Haas down in 10th, in last actually, when Mazepin and Schumacher were there, because I just didn't see what was going to happen with them. Since Kevin Magnussen's come back though, they've got a driver that is very, very well experienced and can perform. He can perform. I think during his time at Haas, despite the crap cars he had, Magnussen performed quite well, and I do think that Mick Schumacher, second season of Formula 1, I'd keep an eye out on him. 7th, I get AlphaTauri. Now, originally, I had AlphaTauri all the way down in 9th, because I thought, well, okay, Red Bull might not be particularly great, and I do think that will hinder AlphaTauri. I do think Gasly will beat Tsunoda. His qualifying form last year was unreal. I do see Yuki performing quite well this year, though, because I think if he doesn't, you have got them youngsters in Formula 2 that very much want to get that seat at AlphaTauri. So I do think Gasly will beat Tsunoda, and 7th, AlphaTauri. 6th, I say Aston Martin. I do think that Aston Martin will be a midfield team. I did say this in the driver's prediction, with Sebastian Vettel coming out victorious against Lance Stroll. A bit of an update, Sebastian Vettel will miss the Bahrain Grand Prix due to testing positive for COVID-19. So Nico Hülkenberg will officially be in the car this weekend. As I say, I do think Aston Martin were in midfield. Initially, I had them down in 7th, but I have bumped them up to 6th after the testing, because I do think that this group of 3, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin and Alpine, are your middle 3. Alpine I do have down finishing 5th. Now, Alpine apparently have got a fix to the porpoising issue, which will be very interesting to see what happens there. Again, I don't think Alpine are quite trouble in the top 4. What are my other group, by the way? But I think Fernando Alonso, you know what he can do in that car. And I do think he will beat Ocon across the season. And I do think he'll be a solid point scorer at least. In 4th, and the worst of the top 4, I do have McLaren. That's probably not a good way to put it, is it? Worst of the top 4. I think McLaren are up there. I think they will comfortably be 4th fastest. I don't think they're quite going to be on the level of the other 3. But this is 2022. Anything can happen. Norris and Ricciardo, I think, is going to be a very, very close battle. But I do have Lando Norris down as the winner of that particular battle. I do think Lando will have the edge on Daniel in 2022. In 3rd, I have Red Bull. Max Verstappen, I think, will be right up there, but I do think with the closeness of the field, Sergio Perez will be a little bit lower down than they would like. But I do still think Red Bull will get 3rd in the championship. As I say, this could go anyway, because I think these 3 teams will all be fighting for the Constructors. I do think McLaren a bit more of a left field shout, but as I say, I think that these three teams will be the ones that fight for the title, and Red Bull are third. In second, I do have Mercedes. Brave call. Now, in testing, Mercedes didn't look particularly great, but if you've watched F1 for a while, you will know that Mercedes don't really show up until qualifying. And again, I do think Mercedes is sandbagging, and I think with Lewis Hamilton in the car, you're going to be competing for the title anyway, because he's just unreal. Lewis Hamilton, an all-time great. He's the greatest of all time, in my opinion. And Russell might have a bit of a Perez effect here, but Hamilton, I think, will be winning races this season. But first, I, of course, have Ferrari. Now, Ferrari, I've had a feeling about Ferrari for months, but having watched testing, I do think that Ferrari and Red Bull did come off the best. I honestly have got a really, really good feeling about Ferrari, and this one could go anyway as well. Not forgetting, Sainz did beat Leclerc last season, but I think Leclerc's experience in front running will just be enough to place him above Carlos Sainz. And I do think Ferrari will get their first Constructors title since 2008. Guys, do not take these seriously. My initial running order, I did have Ferrari at the top. I had Mercedes second, Red Bull third, McLaren fourth. It was the same top four. In fifth, okay, I actually had Alpine in fifth as well, and yeah, we'll not talk about it because it's pretty similar to what I had. I think it's just AlphaTauri were ninth, whilst Haas were 10th and Alfa Romeo were 8th. I think that was my only real difference in there. But it is race weekend, guys. Free practice tomorrow, qualifying Saturday, and the race on Sunday. I cannot wait. 2022. Here we go. Brand new era of Formula 1. Drink it in and enjoy it.